The extension given to an audio file in Audition, what is that? SCSX. That is what you use in Audition, right? You save the file. And it has all the tracks. And you can add a video track. So you put your video up there so that you can actually line up your audio with your video. When you're done, you save it. Then what do you do? Export. Okay? So there's always these two steps. You start a new session, you save it, so that at any time you can go back and play around with the tracks. Then you do file export, and when we're in Audition and we're creating the audio, we can export it lots of different audio files. In our class, we usually use the WAV. So you'll export it as a WAV file. When you come into Premiere, where's the perfect place for a WAV file is on the audio track, right? So that's where that's going to go. When you are in Premiere, which is an Adobe product that you're going to learn to create videos, and that's what we're doing now, and they kind of go hand in hand. You're going to always go back to Audition, and then you'll go back to video till the end of the semester. In Premiere, the native file for a saved file in Premiere is .proj. Premiere Project is how they come up with that extension. Have you ever seen a video called that? No? So it's that same idea. It has multiple tracks, but this time it includes video. You can have a single audio track. You can put still images in it. I'm going to show you how to put transitions between your images. But in this program, once again, you're going to export it. The two files that we use in our class is if you're on a Mac, when you export a file, you'll export it as an MOV. If you're on a PC, you're going to export it as an AVI. You can also do MP4s. You can do lots of different things, but in our class, that's how we'll go back and forth, okay? So anytime you're going from Audition and you're going to take the sound into Premiere, it'll be a WAV file. And when you go from Premiere and you want to take the video into Audition, you'll take over either the AVI file or the MOV. Does that make sense? So in Audition, it's .scsx to a .wav, and when you're in Premiere, it's going to go .proj to either a Mac will be .mov and a PC will be .avi. Here is A6. When you're in Premiere or Audition, there are additional file folders that are created that are sets of instructions for the creation of your audio and video file. Therefore, those of you who love to just put everything on your desktop, it's wise that you put it in a folder so that all the contents are self-contained. In our class for this first video, I think we're going to be okay by putting it under A6 in your completed folder on your thumb drive is where we're going to put it, okay? So inside of here, this is where you'll have all your sounds. This is where you'll have all your videos that you find or that you create, and you're all self-contained when you're working. It's so important to do that. Otherwise, you have to go through and relink everything if it's all over the place, okay? Okay, open up Premiere to get to this point. Premiere is a purple PR. So when we're here, we're going to start with New Project. When you get here, rest assured that Premiere has gone through and said these are probably the best settings for creating a video. Not that you couldn't change it. And when you get in the next class, they really go through and teach you the ins and outs of all of that. But for now, everyone, I want you just to notice this capture format. I would love to do HDV. But if we do HD, if I do, we will be here for days and only one of you will get through. So that's why we're going to leave the capture format at DV. But I do want you just to notice that there's HD. So if you have the capabilities, you have the powerful computer, then you could change this to HD. It takes a lot of real estate to create a video on your computer. So just realize that it is really taxing on your computer as you create and generate audio and video. Right here where it says location is the first time you've got to say, okay, where am I going to save this? Please browse and go find your thumb drive. So if you'll go to your thumb drive under assignments, completed work, there's already a folder in there called A6. If you'll all find that, that's the folder, and you just select your A6 folder. Then click select. And then it's asking, what do you want to call this? Please call it A6 underscore your first name underscore your last name. And if you look on the location, it should say your thumb drive as a location of where this will be. Go ahead and click OK. Okay, now here's a new screen. In North America, each country has its own set of standards for broadcasting. Our broadcasting standard for North America is NTSC. So your options here, and I would do this video in 32 kilohertz. It just makes this a little bit smaller file. So you can choose standard or you can choose widescreen, whichever one you like when you watch videos. Doesn't matter to me, okay? There are all of these different ones, and they're just different countries that have different standards. We do 29 frames per second, and other countries do different sizes. Here are all the descriptions, and these are the files that are being saved in those mini files that automatically happen when you save a file. Down here where it says sequence, when you export the file, this is the name of it. So sequence 1, you'll never find it, right? The purpose of sequence 1, if you're doing a full feature film, that's how they link them together. Sequence 1, sequence 2, sequence 3. Sometimes they call them chapter 1, chapter 2, chapter 3. So here, if you'll all type in again, A6 underscore your first name underscore your last name. This is the name that will be given to the exported file. Then go ahead and click OK. That will automatically save your PRPROJ in the folder A6, and it'll open up. Now, really, it does look a lot like Audition in so many ways. Here's your tracks. The only thing different here now is you have a video track and an audio track. The reason you see video 1 and audio 1 together in gray is when video comes in, it'll place the video on the video track and the audio on the audio track, and then you can actually unlink them, and that's what I'm going to show you how to do that. I don't unlink very often. Why wouldn't I unlink? Delayed. So you've all watched those movies. Godzilla's the perfect one, right? They don't match up. I can't watch a movie if they don't line up. It makes me crazy. So, and all you have to do is unlink it and shimmy it 1 millisecond, and all of a sudden, and sometimes that's hard to line back up. The only reason I'm teaching you how to unlink is so that you can take videos and link them together, so you can do different things and link them all together as you create your own videos. But you don't do it all the time, but you'll be careful as you do it, is probably my point here. You have multiple tracks for you. For example, I kind of put my titles on a track. I'm going to teach how to do titles, and rolling credits on its own track. I put still images on its own track, and then I put my videos on its own track. So you can have these multiple videos, and it just keeps me straight. Each of you will figure out your own kind of style, and I don't care what it is, because there's not a right or wrong as long as you understand how those tracks are working, or how they're working and staying together. Here's your tool button. So I'm going to show you how to use the razor tool. Can you all see that? And I'm also going to show you how to use your selection tool. And then right below your selection tool, there's called a track tool. Sometimes I'm going to make you put a title and a rolling credit. So you're going to get your video all ready, and then you've got to slide it all over just enough to put the title in. That allows you just to select the whole track and then at one time, and then slide it over so you can put the title and a rolling credit at the end of your A6. I mean, so you'll use this one as well. Those are the three I'm going to introduce as we start. Here's where your video will play, and then here's where all your files are going to come in and be displayed for you. Just like we did audio, we saved the file, right, as a SESX. The same thing happens with this. You save it as a PROJ, but anytime I want to put my video together, I go import my sounds, I import my JPEGs, I import my WAV and audio files, I can import Flash. If you've exported a Flash document, it actually plays like a video. You can do really fun things, and all of those come in as an import. So don't try and do file open. That's not what we want to do. We want to import them to compile your video. Okay, first of all, you all need an animation. So can we just do one together? So what we're going to do is go to a browser, and we're going to go to YouTube in MP4. This way, it doesn't matter what browser you're in. You could choose your favorite browser. Just go to this place called YouTube in mp4.com. Get a new tab, and let's go to YouTube. If you do the same thing with an MP3, that's audio. And you can search for any kind of sound. Crunching in the snow. You could type in crunching in the snow, crackling fire, and you can go get sounds from YouTube that you need with MP3. MP4 is actually video. So at YouTube, okay, how about if we do Kiwi? Kiwi's awesome too. Let's do Kiwi. You don't have to play it. You just go find your one and pick it, okay? So I know that I want this Kiwi. So what I do is I grab the URL. So just do a click and drag, grab your URL, do Control-C for copy, Option-C if you're on a Mac, and then you're going to go back to this website called YouTube in MP4. And right here, above the download, there's enter your YouTube link here. You'll just click in there and do Control-V or Option-V on a Mac. It takes it and puts it in there. Just press enter. And then you're right here where it says download MP4. So I'm going to click download MP4. I don't want to open it. I already know what it looks like. What I need to do is put it in that folder. So what you need to do is go to your folder, go to your download, and there's Kiwi. Can you see it in your download folder? So copy it. Just do Control-C. If you just copy it, then go to your thumb drive. So here's my A6 and when you open up A6, you know you're in the right place, everyone, if you see your PROJ. Can you all see that? Okay, so now paste it. Control-V, Option-V, and now your video is in the same location as the file A6. So anytime you create a video, whatever you give the name of your folder, all the contents of your video must be inside that folder, just like I did. Okay, now open up Premiere, everyone. And here's the fun part. We're going to go up here and we're going to do File, Import. And in your import, I don't know if it's going to remember you the first time, does it? I don't think it does. Does it? Oh, that's great. Okay. Make sure you find that A6 folder or the name of the video folder you've created. If you'll all just click Kiwi WMP4, it puts it down here where it will load all of your files. If you can import as many different things as you want. Let's say that you're going to do a video about Shirley Temple and you load every video possible about her. It doesn't mean you have to use them all. It just is a resting place for all of those files. Then what you do, you select the one you want. If you click here, you can just click and drag. And that's all I'm doing, and placing it on video 1 track. The audio comes with it. You can just keep the existing settings. I just want you to keep them. You now have a scrub bar, right? You all know what a scrub bar. It works the same. Hit your space bar. And it actually plays it up here in your video, which is good for you. You can also use all of these controls. I find myself never using those. I use home, end, and space bar, or I just drag it around, okay? Now here's the trick. I'm just going to cut all over, but you're really going to master, you're going to figure out your 1 minute. What's your perfect 1 minute for animation? And it'll be a little bit longer than 1 minute because we're going to add a title and a rolling credit. But for now, you make your animation that you're choosing fit 1 minute. Well, I brought this in and it's 3 minutes and 12 seconds. Can you see that? So I've really got to do a lot of cutting to get this down to 1 minute. So let's say just to begin, we play it. Let's say I don't want the beginning part. I just want it to start right here. Just pretend for our sake. Then what you do is you grab this razor. Can you see this? Grab your razor, and then you take this razor over, and I use my scrub bar as the marking point. I can mark anywhere I want, but I can't tell where, you know what I mean? You're using your scrub bar to find that exact place. Then just on the red bar, click. Okay, what you've done is you've cut it. It's not separated or anything. All you've done is cut it. Now grab your select tool, which is very familiar in every program. And now I'm just going to slide my scrub bar away. You can see the cut right there, right? So now I can select this portion and press my delete key. If you right click in the gap, you can ripple delete. What it means is slide over, baby. It's what it does, is just moves it over. Your job with me is actually to get rid of the audio, and so you can put in your audio. Here is how you unlink. I just right click and you get a whole lot of options. And don't ever be afraid to try them, because that's how you learn so much in Premiere. If you'll click unlink, now there are two separate items, the video and the audio. Now with your select tool, click the audio, and on your keyboard, press delete. Now all you're dealing with is animation, okay? Okay, so let's just make a couple cuts, all right? So we're going to play along. This won't be very fun without audio, huh? Da, 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 da. That's kind of a funny part, so it'd be fun to put a sound as he itches his rear end. So go right here as he's hopping around. It doesn't really matter to me. Once again, use your razor tool. You're going to click, go a little bit further. And let's say it's pretty fun till he gets to right here. That's kind of a fun sound with the nails, right? You might want to leave the sound in until the end just to help you give you ideas of what you would do. But then I'm going to click here. Listen a little bit longer. Say I don't really care about him hammering in the nail, so maybe I could take that portion out. And you'll have to, I mean, that is so hard for me to sit and teach because I don't know what you want to get rid of. Then I'm going to press the delete key and then right click, ripple delete. And I'm just going to keep doing that until I have my perfect 1 minute. Yes? Okay, so I'm going to pretend, okay, I've got my perfect 1 minute. Watch me. You're going to be so proud. Here is my perfect 1 minute. Here's my rule of thumb as an instructor. I've never created a video in my life. Keep it simple. A few sounds, a little bit of music, and I'm good. Those of you who've done this before, then you can do a lot more. But keep it simple so it's fun for you. Some of you have these grand ideas, and they're so grand that you get flustered in the learning process. So keep it very, very simple as you're learning how to do it. There's my minute, everyone. I don't care if you go over a couple seconds. 5 seconds. It's okay if you do that. So here's my perfect 1 minute. Make sure you take your scrub bar home. If you forget to do that and your scrub bar's over here and you render your video, you get a black screen. It's a good sign. Oh shoot, I forgot to put my scrub bar at the beginning. This right here is the marker of the end. So if you click right here, you'll mark the very end as well. I did want to show you this. This is your zoom. See how I can zoom in and out? So when you need to grab things, this is where you zoom in and out on this gray bar. I'm going to teach you a lot about Premiere. This part, I just want you to go get your 1 minute animation and then take it in because it's about the audio. So my scrub bar's at the beginning. I've made a few changes, so I must save my PROJ. That just requires a save, file, save. Now what I'm going to do is now I need to take this and convert it to an AVI or an MOV so I can put it in Audition. So I do File, Export, Media. When I'm here, there's my video. Then, remember how I told you that you could change things? This is your chance to change the name if you left it as a sequence 01. Here's the output name. When you go to search for it, you want to know what it's called. So make sure you take note. Those of you who are on a Mac, I don't believe you'll see the MOV here, but it is the MOV. You'll see the format here. You're not just limited to an AVI. If you have to get things ready for Vimeo, or if you have to get things ready for YouTube, here are even more extensions you can choose from. So they're all right there, okay? But for now, I just want you to look at this output. That is the correct name. I want it to be called A6, your first name, your last name, AVI, MOV. And then all you do is click Export. Now, it is right now taking all of those tracks, and it goes really fast because we don't have a lot on the tracks, but it's breaking them down and making it so I can open it up in any kind of media player. Okay, so I'm going to leave Premiere here in case you have questions and we come back to it. Now if you'll all go to Audition. Okay, so here we are in Audition, everyone. Big A, little U. And I need to bring in my video, right? To start a new session, I'm going to do that same thing. File, New, Multi-track session. Control-N is another way to do this too. Once again, everyone, if you will call this A6 _ your first, your last name. Now, will we have a problem with this name if Premiere has named it this? How come? Because of those two file names. The distinction between those two file names. I like to do that because then I know they go together. In 5 years, when you could hardly wait to open this up and show someone, you can go, oh yeah, these two go together. I remember doing this 100 years ago. So we're going to do the Browse button, and you're going to have to, this is that destination folder is what you're looking for, everyone. So you've got to go to your computer, find your thumb drive. On your thumb drive, find DGM 1110, find your assignments, number 2 folder, and go to your completed folder. Can you all find your A6? Then click OK. Then click OK. You should see up here that the name of this file has that session extension, okay, to create the audio. Now I created video, and I want to be able to see my video when it comes in here. So what I have to do is add a video track. So if you will go to Multi-track, Track, and tell it to add a video track. So here's my video track right here. So now I just need to import my video. So I'm going to do File, Import, File. I'm going to go find it for the first time, and I should be able to see my AVI, my MOV. Can you all see that? and then just open. Okay, now everyone, I can take my video. It's represented with a purple film strip. If you pick that up and drag it to the video reference, you'll get a yellow bar. It'll be added right there for you. Yes? You'll see the track here, but here's where the video plays. For many of you, you don't like that down there. That's why mine was up there, because you can pick this video up, put it right on top up here. Don't you think you'll like that as you're editing your 1-minute video, to line it up on the tracks? And then you just scroll down here with your scroll button to be able to do that. And then this is your zoom. When you're trying to figure out your seconds, here's your zoom right here. So here is the markings of your video on the video reference. Now you just start to bring in all your sounds and your music, and you start to mix it here. Then you'll save it. You will export this when you're all done as an AVI, right? And then you'll go back to Premiere, and that's what we're going to do on Monday. You get your audio all done. Then I'm going to take you into Premiere. I'm going to bring in your video. I'm going to bring in your new audio, and I'm going to add a title and a rolling credit, and you'll be done with your video. So do you care if I show you? I'll show you my 2 favorite from last time. Not a lot, just a couple favorites. I'm hoping you'll generate some of my favorites.
Allow me to introduce myself. My name is Wile E. Coyote.
Don't you have such a great appreciation now that you see what it takes? And all the sounds are original sounds, all added to this cartoon. I love the look on your face. I'm not sure how to read it. It looks something like, "Are you kidding me?" Is that what you're all thinking? And every one of those sounds are original. And you don't have to have an original sound for it. Like when he bonked his head. I mean, there were moments where you thought there should be sound. Okay, I'm not looking at that. Every few seconds have a sound, you know? It's not every single thing has to have a sound as you're starting to figure it out.